All right, welcome back to Chicago Hockey Radio post-game show. Justin Lynch, Lee Grassman, Tassos, Kirkos, Hawks win 4-2 over the Anaheim Ducks. And boys, might we call that a win streak? 2 in a row.
Hell yeah, boys. We're going streaking. We're going streaking to the quad, to the gymnasium. Come on, everybody. Let's go. What a win for the Hawks. You love to see that. We beat the win consecutive games allegations. You love to see it. Against a Ducks team that's in a similar position as us in terms of the rebuild. They've looked better this season. They've shown that improvement. And finally, so are we. All the fear this past week that this Hawks team isn't better. I don't know, boys. I think we're starting to look a lot better now. The chemistry's building. We have not lost a game in the month of November. Things are looking up. Bedsy 3-point game. Absolute masterclass performance. Masterclass. Cinema. Absolute cinema.
Yeah, that was actually like not a brutal game to watch. Even the game yesterday where we won, it was still just like the first 2 periods were like I wanted to stab my eyes out. But today it was like a complete performance. We did start slow yet again.
First 10 minutes.
Yeah. The first 10 minutes, like we just how many? I don't know. I don't even know.
10-1 shots again.
Yeah. Like so bad. So still looking to Richardson to do something about that. But then Isaac Phillips.
Yeah, how about that?
I told
Big
you
guy.
guys.
We got TJ Brody out of the lineup. Phillips has looked great. Keep him in the lineup.
With
He's
a
looked so good
tonight. Top keys.
Betsy's got to take some notes, figure out how to score goals again. That was a beauty by Isaac Phillips. But hey, if you're feeding guys getting a bunch of apples, like who cares, right? But no, good to see from Phillips. Good for his confidence, especially when he spent all season on the bench and in Rockford. Finally gets in this weekend, and boy, did he deliver for sure.
Went a little easier on the defensemen too. Gave the bottom 3 guys a few more minutes. Phillips played 11:40, Allen played 13:33, and Kaiser played 18:41. And you know, he didn't play the other guys almost 30 minutes too. So,
and how about Seth Jones? A goal from him as well.
Awesome.
Good game from him too. Another Bedsy assist too on that goal. Reichel too, another point for him. So he keeps cooking. Power play for the Hawks today was fantastic. 2 for 2. Special teams in general, almost perfect. It would have been perfect if not for that useless Ducks goal with 4 seconds left in the game.
Yeah.
Chris Paul had a huge 3 there to cut the lead to 42 for the Ducks. A huge goal for them. But yeah, special teams was great for the Hawks on both ends.
I just want to sorry, Lee, gotta do the stuff. If you're new here, if you're not new here, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button to catch us after every Hawks post game right here, just like we are right now. Win or lose, rain or shine. And also after for every podcast, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we also come here. Also follow us on Instagram at Chicago Hockey Radio. And if you are an audio listener, or even if you are just a video listener, head over to our page on Spotify and YouTube and leave a 5-star rating and review. I think we're still taking roasts, even though I don't think we've gotten many, if any. But feel free to roast us in the comment when you leave a 5-star rating, and we will read it live on Monday's show tomorrow. So Just wanted to put that out there. Got to do that. And we have an engaged group tonight, so happy to put us out there after a big W instead of a loss.
It helps the views a lot too, and the Hawks are winning. But how about Arvid Soderblom? He hadn't played in 2 weeks. 2 weeks he went without playing, and he spawns in tonight. Makes 37 saves and 39 shots. Should have been 37 and 38, but whatever. Almost had a shutout. His 8th career win. And man, the 3 games he's played this season looks like a completely different goaltender. Like the way he's playing, it's like you almost don't want to set him down. But I think Brossoit's probably going to return this week, so it's going to have to happen, right? But I suppose it's a good problem to have. Maybe that's why he's been playing better, right? Maybe more of a chip on the shoulder compared to last year. But yeah, I mean, what a game from him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know when Brossoit's coming back. If he does come back this week, that's good because we need to start seeing him. But it kind of sucks. Like it feels like you should be rewarding Soderblom after like he's been good this season, you know? And so it kind of sucks that he's just going to get sent down like right away.
I think he would have played more, but he had that illness last week, and that's what kept him out of the last week's back-to-back. But it's just, to miss that much time and just still look that good. It's kudos to him, right? That's not easy. After Mrazek made 6 consecutive starts, he's probably tired. So good to get him some rest.
I was surprised though, with how bad Anaheim looked. Like
they're terrible.
They're horrible, man. Like obviously, I don't want to take anything away from the boys, but I couldn't help but feel like that the first 2 periods, I was like, oh my gosh, like this team has no chance.
They were kind of like us last night. They waited till the 3rd period to start, trying, but they couldn't, finish like we did last night against the Kings. But this is probably their worst game of the season, which maybe they're due for a game like this. Maybe they've been overperforming a bit because I think they were 500 before this game, and now they're 4-5-2 or something, or whatever it is they are. So probably the worst game. Maybe they're due for a game. The Hawks have kind of owned the Ducks in recent memory, especially going back to last year. And Betsy had that 5-point game. So I think a big win for the Hawks. You need to win this for sure. I want Taylor Hall too. 2 assists game. I think this is his best game as a Blackhawk this season. That second line's been a bit rusty, but I think him and Bertuzzi have finally started to get going, and that's big for the Hawks to get that second line going. It's going to mean a lot for this team to produce offense.
I did think that Bertuzzi had a really good game today.
Yeah.
Both ends of the ice. I thought he was really good defensively. Broke up a couple of plays. He just looks like he's like playing hungrier. Like more tenacity. So, which is what we need out of him, that's why we got him. So, good to see him have a couple of good games back to back. And then, dude, Ryan Donato might be like $1 billion player come like February.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was him or Bedsy who got that goal last, but it ended up being him. But initially I thought maybe it was Bedsy. But no, good for him. I mean, he's been cooking lately. He had that shootout winner last night and then had the goal to kind of seal the deal tonight. And what is that, 7 goals now? He leads the Hawks in goal scoring. I would not have predicted that. The way he's playing now, man, he could get an absolute bag for us at the deadline. A bag.
And it really is the way. It's not like he's like kind of getting lucky bounces and lucky. No. It's like when he goes into the offensive zone, he looks like one of our best players. Like
I will say, you can never question his effort. I think if a team that had an entire team full of players of Ryan Donato's heart and work ethic would never lose. I mean, you never can question it, that guy, for sure. He plays the game the right way.
Yeah, what do you think we could get it for him in like February, Tassos?
I think the Hawks could maybe get a second for him at some point. I think the Hawks are going to start packaging some of these guys. The difference between the Hawks and Anaheim is, like, the Hawks are a veteran team.
Older team, man.
Yeah. They have an older team where Anaheim's playing the kids right now. So, and the guys that they have that aren't the kids aren't very good. Like, I know Pat Maroon was like chucking them. That was a doozy of a fight with Ross Johnson.
Yeah, that's why we have him here, right? Yeah.
Also, he grabbed his collar before Maroon even had his gloves off. So, like, he had so much more leverage in the fight. So that's why I think Maroon was kind of just, like, tucking away. Because he literally had – Maroon was holding his wrist, but he was holding Maroon's collar. So –
And then Craig Smith got 10-minute misconduct for literally no reason. I'm still trying to figure out what he did. What did Craig Smith do? What did he do? He was just living in the box the whole 3rd period. I don't know why.
And it felt like he was in the box for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, seriously, I don't know what that was all about. Good in terms of players finally showing up. Good to see Tabo get on the board too. I think he went 6-7 games without a point heading into this one. I questioned putting him on third line, but thought he's looked decent there. I guess his goal was on the power play, so it wasn't third line. It was a beautiful pass from Halsey, but good to see Tabo get on the board. He definitely needed that. A few guys today, just to get that confidence going, get kind of the monkey off the back for sure.
Something I've noted about Anaheim, and I don't know, I want to hear what Tassos has to say about this. You were just talking the other day on the show about how the line of Kurashev, Bedard, and Teravainen has like no grit, no nails.
Well, I said they're also not like big enough too.
You're gonna take this to the Ducks.
I feel like that's like this entire Anaheim like young core. Like there's no nails.
Leo Carlson's a big boy.
Radko Gudas on defense.
I guess he's big, but he doesn't like.
And Mason McTavish has.
But they have a lot of TikTokers,
he doesn't really.
Like Trevor Zegras
and like Cutter Gauthier. And...
yeah, he hasn't done shit this season. Like seriously, what has he done?
No,
it's a jump from the NHL or from college to the NHL. Like Will Smith until his breakout game against the Chicago Blackhawks on Halloween. Yeah, it was very difficult for him, and he's
think he's gonna get the McGroarty treatment soon.
I think that's why. No, I mean, in an ideal world, if you were the Sharks, you could put him down with the Barracuda, but ticket sales exist, so you need him up with the big clubs. Same thing with the Ducks and Gauthier, I imagine.
Yeah, that's true.
The Penguins still have Sid and Gino and Malkin
What's with Trevor Zegras, man? Ever since they put him on the NHL 23 cover, man, it's like he's been cursed or something. He's not the same player. I mean, even watching him tonight, I was not impressed at all.
Yeah, like when he gets on the puck, he doesn't really look dangerous, and he's obviously not a physical guy. He's not like a workhorse, so it's like he kind of just disappears, and he's like plays all throughout their lineup, and it's just like it feels like they're experimenting with like too many players at one time. That it's like if some of these guys I think were in different environments, they'd be better than they are. But it's like this entire team has no experience.
Yeah, and you'd like to say with Zegras, if you're his agent and Zegras himself, maybe that it's like, I'm not getting the opportunity or the ice time, but he's getting 18 and a half minutes a night under Greg Cronin, who's a notoriously very difficult coach, and Pat Verbeek, who's a very difficult GM, and it's already been kind of out there that not everybody among those three see eye to eye, right? So I don't know.
Bit of a disconnect. I will say I do like Leo Carlson's game a lot. I remember when they drafted him over Adam Fantilli, like at the draft, I was at the Chicago watch party, and I was like in disbelief. I was like, what? They took him over Fantilli? I mean, I still know. I think in the long run, Fantilli might still be the better player, but right now, I think so far in the NHL, I've kind of been more impressed with Leo Carlson, to be honest. I feel like he has such a complete game. I think his potential is sky high for sure.
You were at the watch party too. I was there.
In the salt shed. Yeah, we didn't know each other then. We probably saw each other. We probably said something, and that's funny.
That's really funny.
That was fun.
That was a great time. Great event.
Great day.
Salt Shed's a really cool place.
That's the only time I've ever been there for the Bedsy draft. That's it.
I just saw Fontaine's DC there. It was awesome.
I saw Mount Joy there a couple weeks ago. It was 10 out of 10. Really good venue. And then they said that there was like a bat with rabies that was like biting people. Kind of.
What?
Yeah, no. Look that up. That's a real thing.
I actually do think I heard this.
No, that
I don't know. Start another pandemic over there.
Someone else told me about this. That's pretty awesome. That's like adds like a little fun thing to the vibe when you go. You might get a little rabies or something.
Guys, another topic though. Yes, Betsy had 3 assists, but my gosh, this guy is like, he's got to be the most snake-bitten player in the league right now. So the fact that he has 12 points in 13 games, and despite the bad luck he's had, I mean, he should have buried 2 goals tonight. He had a breakaway that he should have buried. He had a couple other 2-on-1s and stuff like that, and he had a lot of shots. He just, nothing's going in right now, man. But he's still producing, right? And he's still playing well, but it feels like he's due. I mean, that shot percentage, that's got to be 6-7% right now. I feel for him. I think he was breaking some Sherwood sticks on the bench there.
I feel like on that breakaway, he
could have shot it.
He didn't want to shoot it. He was originally looking for someone to get up on the play with him, and then it was almost too late when he realized that it was just him, and so then he kind of forced it, trying to go 5-hole, and it was covered up. So
Yeah, it's like I hate to say that. Like, he had 3 assists today. He had a great game. Don't get me wrong, but it's like the goal scoring. I think it will turn around eventually. But this little drought is going on a little longer than I thought. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
Do you think it's a drought, Tassos?
Oh, drought's maybe the wrong word, but it feels like he's due.
No, not really.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I'm being too harsh.
It'll get sorted. It'll get sorted.
I'm not worried. He had 3 assists. He had a good game.
Yeah, he hit a 3.9.
I can't complain about 3.
Greedy bastard.
That's how you know he's a good player. And you have a 3-point game, you're still not totally satisfied.
You'd maybe like to see him put a few more in the back of the net, but you can't get too worked up over it if you're him or the Hawk. The worst thing is for him to start thinking about it too much, but I don't think he is, which is why he is who he is, right? So yeah, it'll fall eventually. Once it kind of breaks a little bit for him, he'll start putting
floodgates will open. Yeah. He'll have a 2-3 goal. And I think that first hat trick, it'll come for sure. Another good game for Vlasic too. He's been so strong this season. I love to see that kind of two-way game improve for him this season. He's kind of figuring more on the offense. I think he has 7 assists this season, so he's already almost halfway to his point total from last year. So now
he had a ton of blocked shots tonight too.
That too, yeah. The penalty kill was fantastic. Should have been perfect. Just that last goal late, they had to score for no reason. But yeah, that was fantastic because the Ducks had 5 power plays, and penalty kill really was a big part of why we won this game. Yeah.
Tassos, you still think the Blackhawks should go make a move?
Yeah, I think that game against San Jose was honestly, now looking back right now today, an even bigger missed opportunity. You can't lament in the past, right? But
we'd be 500. Yeah.
Right? Exactly. Exactly. And then you're talking about a team that is kind of what the Hawks look like, which is a good team that has some structure. I like what Luke Richardson has been doing with the team lately. He is working with what he's being given with the roster, which I clearly think we all know now is largely GM driven. The team that we're seeing on the ice, except for like the lines and combos and some of the scratches here and there. But it is Luke Richardson pushing the buttons and getting guys like Kurashev to play a little better and Reichel to play. Like Reichel's been shot out of a cannon since he was scratched early on. And
it's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Get him up there. I know he's looked good in the 4th line, but man, he should be in the top 6 right now the way he's playing. But I'm glad they're at least getting him in the power play. He's looked good there for sure.
So
it's like every time he gets the puck with a little bit of space, it's like, uh-oh, look out. He's just so fast and he's like playing so much more direct. He's not like it's weird to say, but he is playing with like a high level of confidence, which is kind of weird considering
you didn't see any of that last year.
Yeah. It's like it kind of came out of nowhere, and now he's like getting on the board every single night.
I think those first 4 games, I criticized Richardson for this, so maybe I need to go back on this. I think those first 4 games getting scratched really motivate him. He looks like he's playing with a chip on his shoulder this year, which at times I feel like there wasn't there last season. At times there was some coasting, but there hasn't been any of that this year. He's been getting in more on the forecheck. His complete game's been there, and doesn't take a shift off. I think he's getting rewarded for his hard work, for sure.
Yeah. I agree. It's good to see.
No, for sure. Absolutely.
So yes, to answer your question, Lee, I do think the Hawks should still make a move because this is a good team here. And the better they do, the better this show does. So
all of a sudden we're 5-7-1, 11 points. We're ahead of the Avalanche and the Predators. Like we're only 1 win out of a playoff spot. I know I'm getting ahead of myself here, but 13 games in, all of a sudden, just after this weekend, things are already looking so much better. Compared to Thursday against the Sharks when it was all doom and gloom. Imagine that's how fast things can change in hockey, right? 2 big wins and all of a sudden you're back in it.
Yeah, we might make the playoffs.
let's temper it down a little bit here, eh? Yeah.
Just a couple moves though, like maybe like some 2-for-1, some 3-for-1 moves, like maybe one move where you're using a spot on a guy that maybe's been banged up a little bit lately or the last few years and is trying to make it back. Kirby Duck. But maybe somebody like that, and then maybe use a roster spot on going after somebody that's
the 2C thing is definitely the biggest
really
hole right now, because it's like, how long is Nick Foligno going to last in that 2C spot? As much as I like Nick Foligno. So that's like the one thing. You can rotate him and Dickinson, or you can always put Tavo. He's played center his career. You can always put him there or somebody else. But that is one thing you look at. It's like, I don't know how sustainable that is. But maybe put Reichel out there. And playing with 4Cs, look good there. Give him a shot, to kind of make up for last season. That didn't work out. 2C, maybe this year can work out. Yeah.
What do you think, Lee? What else do you think, boys? When that game started, the first period, I mean, the Hawks were getting. I think we all forget because it was 4-2.
It looked like the Kings game to start. I was getting pretty worried.
Yeah, I was like, did nothing get learned the first 10 minutes of the hockey game, and then they flipped it. They got lucky. Not lucky. You don't want to say they got lucky, but because that was a great shot by Phillips, and just like walking down Main Street, good job by Bedard, and just everybody out there, whole unit. But then it was like, oh wait, we can play with these guys. Like right out of the gate, we can play with these guys. We don't need to wait until the final 20 minutes to.
That's the thing with this Hawks
it's
team.
So it's weird. It's like they don't know that they can compete with all of these teams.
It takes them until they score to look like a hockey team.
They come out and play like, oh my gosh, we're gonna lose. We're gonna lose. Oh my gosh, it's so bad. We can't shoot. And then Phillips scores, and it's like the floodgates open, and then it's like after that, it felt like Anaheim had no chance in the game.
It's kind of shocking the Ducks had 10 more shots. I mean, but I think it's that start, right? Because they had 10 more than us to start. But the rest of the game, I feel like we kind of controlled outside. Maybe the third we coasted a little bit, but not too bad. But that is something, they do got to get these starts figured out, because that has been a constant in this team. It's like, it's not always going to work out, right? More often than not, the team that gets a first goal wins. With the Hawks, it's not going to happen often when you're not starting well. But that's something I got to figure out. The second half of the first story looked great. It's not always been the entire first. It's just like those first 10 minutes. I don't know what it is, but that's something I got to figure out for sure.
The ice time was kind of the same. I think it was just because it was second half of back-to-back and everybody was kind of gassed, and Richardson wanted to just spread it out as much as he possibly could, especially when they go up 3 and right. I don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting. The Hawks now, you got 2 days off here, and then how about Wednesday? We got the Red Wings, Bedsy versus Kaner. That's the biggest matchup in this country this week. So we're looking forward to that. That should be cinema. But for the Hawks, I mean, let's get 3 straight wins here. Let's get close to 500. Why not? Big game. Let's carry over this momentum. Let's make this something that lasts.
Yeah, the Red Wings are like a very beatable team.
Yeah, they have not impressed me. I've been watching all their games, and that is like the definition of mid, that team. Like outside that top 6, which hasn't even been that good, there's nothing there. And the defense is atrocious.
They're just so hot and cold. It's like they'll look good for a period, and then they'll do absolutely nothing for another.
That team, I said they make the playoffs for the season. I've seen enough, through over 10 games. That team is not sniffing at playoffs. That team is actually ass. Like, we actually might be better than them. I'm not even lying when I say that. Like, I'm not sold on the Red Wings at all.
No, I agree. They don't have any. We talked about this. They don't really have forward depth. They don't really have depth on the blue line, and they don't have a great goaltender. That's like a recipe for not being very good.
No, for sure. Agree.
Those are like 3 of the most important things. What were you about to say, Tassos?
No, I was just going to say, any other thoughts, boys? I thought the power play was really good tonight. I didn't know if you guys wanted to talk about the Teravainen goal, or maybe the Seth Jones goal a little bit more too. I don't know what you guys maybe thought. It was kind of nice to see the power play cooking after a few games where it seemed a bit off.
They were in sync. I mean, the Tavo was a nice pass from Halsey, just kind of just tic-tac-toe right with the passes. That they're just seem more in sync. And Bedsy found Seth Jones too in the power play. Nice shot from him. He's definitely had more of a shot versus mentality this season. I think that's paying off. So no, it's good to see from the power play. Just get more shots. Like, too much power plays, recycling the puck around, waiting for the best opportunity. It's like, and then we spend most time trying to get set up in the zone, right? But put the puck on that, good things happen. I think the Hawks, just simplify their game this weekend. That paid off. Yeah.
Yeah, and like shooting when they're supposed to on the power play,
Mm-hmm.
And not trying to like be too cute with it. Yeah, it was a great rip from both of them. So I don't know. I don't really have much else.
I was going to say, any other thoughts from the game?
No, we'll be back tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah. Did you guys watch any other sports this weekend?
That Bears game today was absolute ass. So I'm glad the Hawks won to make up for that, but that was definitely the worst game of the season from that standpoint.
I'm done with the Bears. This coaching staff is such a joke. The season's over, realistically. Like, I don't think there's any chance statistically we have like a 44% chance of making the playoffs, but I don't think we have any chance.
You think we're going to cook in the divisional play?
The divisional game are going to be bad. Look, I don't think you're going to beat the Lions a single time. You might be able to split with the Packers. The Vikings look pretty good. Yeah, I'm not very bold. And just this coaching staff is so like
Eberflus and Waldron need to go. They were so bad.
You cannot win a Super Bowl with Matt Eberflus as your head
No.
coach. You just can't. There's a ceiling. So,
yeah, it sucks too with the Bears. They're 500 at their last in division. It's like NFC North is just so
it's the
tough.
best division in football, and that's like all we're playing for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I mean it's tough. I mean, I didn't really expect to. I expect to compete for the playoffs this year, but I didn't necessarily expect to make it. So, but it is a bit disappointing, especially when at start I thought we had a good shot, but last two games have been very winnable, and we just found a way to lose. Yeah. That Hail Mary changed this season, unfortunately. That one play.
Yeah.
If that goes the other way, whole different season. Yeah.
All right. Subscribe to this podcast, like this video, leave a 5-star rating and review at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, but mostly those two. And give us a follow on Instagram at Chicago Hockey Radio. Greatly appreciate it. Everybody who's been on here is great. You guys are all fantastic. And also DM us questions at Chicago Hockey Radio on Instagram. You can DM us a question, just like type it out. Or you can send us a video of like you just talking into the thing, and we can play it on the podcast if that is your kind of thing. You don't have to say your name. We don't have to say your name. It could be that kind of way. We could say we'd like to say where you guys are from and where everybody is listening from, just to show the big community that binds Hawks fans together and that binds hockey fans in general together too. Shoot us a follow. It could be NHL related. It could be Hawks related. We'd be happy to hear from you, and we answer those on Friday's podcast. So be sure to do all that other fun stuff too. It really helps us out a lot. And if you really enjoyed listening to the three of us, then you would do all those things like beautiful humans. So love you all. You guys are great. You boys are great too. Appreciate you two for hopping on tonight.
Oh yeah, thank you very much. Great weekend for the Hawks. 2 wins. Needed that badly. Boys needed it. We roll.
All right, Lee.
No, yeah, thank you. It was a great evening, good weekend, and we'll be back tomorrow. So make sure everyone tunes in tomorrow.
Peace. Yeah. Adios.